Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence; Dow Automotive Systems, innovations for clean powertrain solutions; and by Hyundai. Experience the 2011 Hyundai Sonata today at HyundaiSonata.com.
This is Autoline Daily for April 18, 2011, and now the news. Slowly but surely, the Japanese auto industry is getting back on its feet. Toyota, Nissan, and Honda now have all their plants in Japan up and running. However, they're running at half capacity. Even so, that's a pretty smart strategy. By ramping up slowly, they'll be able to quickly identify any potential supply shortages before they become a problem. Stopping and starting production often leads to quality problems, so by running at half capacity, they'll ensure the lines keep running smoothly. But while Japan is running slow, China is running red hot right now. It's the Wild East, and every automaker, from Volkswagen to Hyundai, is scrambling to get a bigger slice of the pie, especially GM. The General just announced a 5-year plan to double its sales in the country to 5 million units by 2015. Kind of ironic, isn't it, calling it a 5-year plan, given that China's a communist country? To reach that goal, GM plans to introduce 60 new or redesigned models. Chevrolet and Buick, its two mainstream brands, will account for nearly half of those vehicles. This is a big goal to be sure, but it looks like the company is investing in enough product to make it happen. And speaking of GM, when it comes to clean energy, it's the leader in getting patents. And that puts GM in the lead of all companies in the U.S., not just automotive ones. According to the New York law firm Heslin, Rothenberg, Farley & Massetti, which specializes in intellectual property, GM got 14% of all the clean energy patents issued in the U.S. last year, making it the first time it ever hit the top of the list. GM earned the patents for hybrid electrics, fuel cells, and solar energy. And speaking of clean energy, Nissan revealed a race car that's powered by the same EV technology as the LEAF. They're calling it the LEAF NISMO RC. It's a two-door race car with a carbon fiber body, removable front and rear sections, fixed windows, LED headlights and taillights, and a driver-adjustable rear wing. Unlike the LEAF, the battery and motor are located in the middle of the Nismo RC, and it's rear drive, not front drive, and it weighs nearly 40% less than the LEAF. However, for a race car, the LEAF NISMO RC really doesn't have that great of numbers. 0 to 60 miles an hour is 6.85 seconds. Its top speed is only 93 miles an hour, and it can only run for about 20 minutes before it runs out of juice. And speaking of the LEAF, Nissan is recalling the car to reprogram it after complaints about people having trouble starting the car. According to the Detroit News, the company will reprogram 5,300 LEAFs in the US, Japan, and Europe and other markets because it may not restart after you turn it off. Nissan will not say how many complaints it's received, and it says this technically isn't a recall since it's not a safety issue. But technical or not, it is a recall. Mazda announced that its crossover concept, the MINAGI, which debuted at this year's Geneva Motor Show, will be called the CX-5 when it goes on sale next year. The CX-5 is the first Mazda vehicle to incorporate its Kodo design theme, which means soul of motion. And it will come with its new SkyActiv technologies, which include engines, transmissions, and an improved body and chassis. The CX-5 joins Mazda's lineup of crossovers, which include the CX-7 and the CX-9. Herman and Candelaria Zapp dreamt of taking a road trip. The Argentine couple always talked about visiting Alaska, so they did. But according to MSNBC, the trip turned into a lifestyle. They've spent the last 11 years on the road. Yeah, more than a decade driving across the world. So far, they've traversed more than 145,000 miles and visited some 24 countries, from Japan and South Korea to the US, New Zealand, and Australia. Each of their 4 children was born in a different country. Now, this would be an amazing feat if they did it in a modern vehicle with all kinds of creature comforts, but they didn't. Their car of choice is a 1928 Graham Page Model 610. That means highways are out of the question because top speed is a leisurely 40 miles an hour. The car is a true multi-purpose vehicle, serving as a school, an apartment, a kitchen, and a bedroom. The Zaps have even named it Macondo Cambalache, and we have no idea what that means, but they also refer to it as Grandpa, and that we do get. But you know, I gotta wonder where they get replacement parts on the road. You can hit today's link in our show notes at AutolineDaily.com for more information on this amazing story. Coming up next, Volkswagen pulled the wraps off its redesign of the Beetle this morning, and we'll show you what that is all about.
Introducing Bridgestone's third generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
When Volkswagen brought back the Beetle a decade ago, it was mainly aimed at the American market. The new Beetle, as they called it, never really caught on in the rest of the world. And we always anticipated that when it got a chance to redesign it, VW would make the car more appealing to more markets. Well, today Volkswagen unveiled the redesign of the Beetle at the auto shows in both Shanghai and New York. In fact, the music they played at the unveil was so loud that the vibrations made our camera shake. While the car is unmistakably a Beetle, it looks significantly different from the car it replaces. Note how the car now almost looks as if it's a fastback. No doubt that provides more usable trunk space, which was a real problem with the previous car. And this also gives the car a much better stance, looking more powerful and sporty than the cartoony look of the old one. These show cars have giant rims on them. They look like 22-inch wheels, which will definitely not be on the production version of the car. Even so, this definitely looks like a Beetle that could sell well in world markets, and we should definitely sit up and pay attention to the fact that it was also unveiled in China. Hey, before we go, if you missed the live broadcast of this week's Roundabout Show, catch it now on our website. Episode 78 features a Russian screw-propelled vehicle that has got to be seen to be believed, a spectacular Dutch superbus, and the top 10 vehicles Uncle Sam will not let you import. And you can get this and more info about everything else you've seen on today's show at AutolineDetroit.tv. And that is today's report on the top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.